Ciao a tutti and welcome to Italian Stories. This is a series of interviews where, together with friends and students of mine, we dive into the beauty, the comedy, and the chaos of learning Italian and living la dolce vita. Today's guest is Irene. Irene is a content creator and architect from Argentina, but she currently lives in Sicily. Ciao Irene, buongiorno, come stai?
Ciao Anna, tutto bene, grazie.
Bene, bene. So, Irene, tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from, and what's your connection to Italy?
Okay, so I'm from Argentina, Rosario, and
Mhm,
I moved to Sicily 3 years ago. My connection with Italy is my roots on my mom and my dad's side. I
mhm,
have great grandparents that they were from Naples and from Sicily, and they moved to Argentina.
mhm,
And I think that because of that, my parents wanted me to learn about the culture, the language. So they sent me to an Italian school where I learned about Italy and I learned to speak Italian.
mhm.
And then also my mom, she did my citizenship in Argentina in the consulate. So I'm a citizenship, an Italian citizenship since I was little, like since my 9 years old.
Oh,
So with these tools, the language, the passport, and also my passions that I think that Italy is like the center of the world for food and
yeah.
design, which are my two passions.
Mhm.
Uh, then I decided that I wanted to live in Italy one day. And after the pandemic, I made the move.
Okay, so it was in 2019,
No,
20?
it was just 2022. It took me a little bit also because there were a lot of regulations. You couldn't like take
Yeah.
flights and move and yeah, the green pass. I don't remember the name exactly, but
And
yeah,
the
a lot of yes. So, but yeah, like that. I think that was the moment where I thought, okay, what I'm doing with my life. Like I always wanted to live in Italy, and if I
Mhm.
don't do it now, the world might end. We can have another pandemic, and I'd rather be in Italy. So yeah, that made me a little bit think about it and think that I wanted to at least give it a try.
I see, I see, I see. And so this is something that you always dreamed of. So when did you decide that you wanted to?
Yes, it was always in my head. Like I was
Mm.
obsessed with I love cooking, so I was obsessed with Italian food and the quality of the ingredients here. The lifestyle, the fresh ingredients, your culture, because in design it can be like architecture, fashion, everything. I think that everything happens here, and
Mhm,
I admire you a lot, admire your
mhm,
country. So it was in my mind. Like I felt, I don't want to say more Italian than Argentinian, but half and half. Like my
mhm,
heart was divided, and I thought if I don't make this move now that I'm young, then I will
mhm.
regret the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I picture myself, I don't want to be an old lady, like maybe with the grandkids and say, oh, I wanted to live in Italy, but like we always find excuses not to make these kind of changes that are challenging, or
Yeah.
scaring. So
Yeah.
I decided that I had to do it and not overthinking without overthinking. And yes, it was a little bit a crazy idea, but what I told to myself, if something goes wrong in Italy, I can always come back to Argentina, and this is going to be always home. Like I
Yeah.
have my family, my friends, my apartment. I already had a career as an architect because I had my interior design studio where I
Mm.
did Turkish services. So I thought I already did something in Argentina by my own because I don't have family that are architects or anybody that I knew. Like I started like from zero in Argentina, and I could make a living and have my clients and everything. So I thought maybe I can do the same in Italy. Like now I'm ready.
Yeah. 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 And how did your parents react when you told them that you wanted to go to Italy? Were they happy? Were they concerned?
Well, my dad passed away, but I'm sure that he would have been like so happy about my decision because he always encouraged me to speak Italian. I remember we had these friends that they lived 6 months in Italy and 6 months in Argentina. And every time we went to their house, he was like, "Oh, speaking Italian, speaking Italian." Like he loved hearing how I speak in Italian. maybe it was a Sunday and I was, I drink too much last night. I was like hangover and I was like, oh, I have to speak Italian. But I thought he would have been happy. And my mom, she was like super surprised. Like, why no? How? What happened? Like, you're not happy here. Why? And I was like, Mom, you gave me all the tools. No, you sent me to an Italian school. You made the passport for me. What was I supposed to do with all this? No, like you made it so easy for me. Like so many people, they move without having this, without speaking the language, without having the European passport. So for me, it was super easy to make the decision. So she was really supportive, and she still is. And yeah, she's a little bit worried. I think the moms, they never, they are not relaxed. Like from the day they become mom until they die, they're always worried about their sons. And if
Yeah,
the kid is like me in another continent, more worried. But she's super happy of seeing me here, and she knows that I'm enjoying and that I'm chasing my dreams. So I think that makes her happy too.
yeah, I'm sure. Also because Argentina and Italy are very far away. They're like,
Yes.
how long is the flight from?
From Rome, it's 17 hours, but consider that I have to go from Sicily to Rome or Milano or even Spain, Barcelona.
Mm,
And then I arrived to Buenos Aires. But from Buenos Aires to Rosario, my city, I have 3.5 or 4 hours driving because we don't have internal flights in Argentina. Like we do, but there are not low cost companies. So it's crazy expensive to move from one city to another in a plane. So
mm.
all in all, my trip is like a day or more.
Yeah. That's tough. So I found you on Instagram and I loved your content. So I just
Yeah.
want people to know what do you do with your content? What do you talk about in your videos, in your reels? Do you talk about Sicily, your heritage, something else?
Well, honestly, you're going to find a little bit of everything. Actually, now I need to focus. I told you this before. I need to focus on one thing because living here is so stimulating that I want to share everything, no? Like food, my experiences with friends, my experiences as a tourist because I travel a lot around the island and I'm still a tourist. So when I discover new hotels, restaurants, activities, boat trip, I want to share everything with you. So basically, like Irene Sicily was born to help you plan your trip to Sicily because when I first arrived in 2022, there was little information, not many
Mhm.
tips or advice. I used to like look for information online and then do the itinerary, and I had such a hard time. Especially on Instagram, trying to find like quality content to plan my trip, and I had to watch all these long YouTube videos, which I don't like to because I'm anxious. So I was like, no, I want to like I want to post all the information that I would love to have back then
Mhm.
when I first arrived to Sicily, and then since I decided to stay, the content is also
Mhm.
mixed with my lifestyle here in
Mhm.
Sicily, like daily life, and
Mhm.
also of course my personal projects. I have difference in tourism and in architecture real estate, so I'm also sharing and showing you properties or renovations that I'm doing. And
Mhm.
as regard tourism, I'm the host in a countryside farm to table experience. So we are
Mhm.
going also to see these cooking lessons I do with the family in Salemi. So yeah, a little bit about everything.
You only have an Instagram account, or do you also post on YouTube?
One.
Or
So I have Irene in Sicily for all this type of content. Then Galia Farm with the C is the name of the farm to table experience in the countryside in Salemi. And
okay,
Propitali,
Mhm.
that's like property and Italy in together. It's for the real estate and architecture work.
Okay, okay, okay. You do a lot of
I
things.
I used to have one for my architectural studio in Argentina, but I abandoned it because it was too much.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's already a lot of accounts. So
Yes. And then you
uh,
have also the website, ireneinsicily.com, where you
okay,
can find where to stay, where to go, itinerary. There's a blog, recipes. Yes, a little bit of everything there as well.
Yes, yes, yes. And so when you went to Sicily for the first time, what was your first impression? Did you like it? Were you a bit shocked by something?
Well, I didn't have many cultural shocks because I think Argentina is very similar to Sicily. Our
Yeah.
culture is a combination of Southern Italian culture and
Mm,
Spain. So
mm,
I felt like quickly I felt at home also because the people is so warm. And
mm,
then my first impression was that I loved it and that I wanted to stay at least for the summer. And
mm,
that was my original plan to, just find a job, whatever, like not as an architect, like any kind
mm,
of job, and then enjoy the summer here and then move to Milan, but
okay.
that never happened. So actually, I always, deep inside my heart, knew that I didn't want to go to Milan. That was only what people expected from me, since I'm an architect, and in Milan, there are more work opportunities, and it's like the capital of design. But
Mhm,
when I was in Argentina, what I had in my mind, like my picture in my head, I think is that what everybody has, this dolce vita style, no? Enjoy the simple moments, a good dish of pasta.
mhm.
I didn't even know that there were so gorgeous beaches here. I think that shocked me when I first arrived in Sicily. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
So it was like Sicily has everything. It has
yeah,
culture, nature, the people is great, and even the beaches. So
yeah,
it was, yes, a mix of like all the checkpoints that I
yeah,
wanted in my daily life. Sicily,
yeah,
uh, yes, completed. So yes, I have to say the only thing that is missing in Sicily is job opportunities. But since I'm a person that creates those opportunities for myself, I decided to take the risk and give it a try to live here.
yeah, 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 yeah. Your situation is probably a bit different than like, let's say, normal people, like people looking for more normal jobs, because you do something a bit special. So I think it's
Yes, I mean, if you want to work for other people or company,
mhm,
uh, here you have to lower your expectations because
mhm,
you won't earn that much money, but also the cost of life it's a lot cheaper than in the rest of Italy. So you could have a decent life, but the best plan would be if you have your job and you are a digital nomad, then you should
mm,
definitely move to the south of Italy because life for you is going to be super cheap, and
yeah.
the lifestyle here, the quality of life is super high. So that would be like the best scenario.
Yeah, it's true. The good thing about southern Italy is you have good weather, very good food, and the food is cheap.
Very.
Very, very cheap and very good. So it's like the perfect life. And so, how would you describe your day to day life in Sicily? What do you usually do during your week? And what do you do on Saturdays, on Sundays?
Well, it changed a lot, and
Mhm.
because I have so many activities, and also because I travel a lot around the island. But now I'm trying to build a new routine for me. I recently moved to Noto. I say it in English. 2 months ago, and
Okay.
I'm starting to build this routine. For me, it's always important, to go to the gym, go to the office. Actually, now I'm in the office. I'm
Mhm.
started working with a friend of mine. He's a real estate agent. He has this real estate agency. And since I'm new in this world, like I always worked with houses, but only as an architect. But
Mm,
now I think that my dream is to help people to achieve their dream of owning a house in
mm,
Italy or in Sicily. So I
mm,
know the process can be super long since you buy the house until you get the fully renovation, the paperwork, everything. So I want to like be there for the people. So
mhm,
yes, I'm building my routine with this new reality here. But actually, the routine, one thing that is amazing about living in here is that For example, for lunch, when I was in Argentina, I had lunch in the office. I was
Yeah.
lucky because I rented an office with a yard, so I could like have my salad or something quick that I brought
Yeah.
from home
Yeah.
with seeing the sun. But usually it's like inside an office without natural light sometimes. But
Yeah.
here is different. Here everybody goes out for lunch or goes back
Mm.
home. So, for
Yeah.
example, yesterday we went to Corso Umberto, which is the main street that is
Mhm.
already full of tourists because on Friday we're having Infiorata di Noto, which is an
Oh,
event where they decor one main street with petals of
yeah.
flowers. It's super cool. If you don't know it, Google it. And or you're going to see a reel of mine for
I'll see your
sure soon.
stories.
Yes. So we went here to, to eat one of these restaurants on the streets, and it feels like on vacation, even though I'm building this routine and I have things to do and work to do. It's just
Mhm.
like 1 or 1.5 hours of enjoying, seeing people, chatting with people because everybody knows everybody here. And then
Yeah.
after that, well, let's go and grab a coffee. And we went and we have a dolcino and a castatina, and it's like I love these little things that
Mm.
make my day great.
Yeah. 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 We do like to have a little break, for lunch. I even know some people that go to the beach for even like 1 hour,
Yes,
and then they go back to the office, and it's very nice. I don't know how they do it because I would fall asleep on the beach, and then I
I
would
know. Or you start sweating and then you have to go back all.
not a good idea for me, but if they
Very.
like.
Yeah,
uh,
but also here, for example, they can decide on Friday or another day. Okay, so this afternoon I'm not working. I'm going to the beach.
yeah.
And it's okay because in the end, if you, I know that the priority for most of us is work, but if
Yeah.
you don't enjoy your daily life and you're waiting for this moment where you have a lot of money to
Yeah.
arrive, and then you have more money, but you don't have time and you never get to enjoy. So what made me fall in love with Sicily is this lifestyle that people is really conscious about how important is sharing with family, with friends, take a moment for yourself, for
Yeah.
eating good because the food is the fuel to our bodies. So I think
Yeah.
it's super important to consume fresh ingredients without agrochemicals and
Yeah.
put love into the food you are eating because you are giving love to yourself. So all these little things from the daily life, I think that raise the quality of the life and yeah, made me want to stay here.
Yeah. 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 Totally, totally true. And what would you say it's one thing that you love about Sicily? I mean, you said quite a lot of things. And some other things that maybe you don't like or you find challenging or hard to accept.
Well, I want to mention two. The first one is one thing that I thought that I was the only one that noticed, but talking
Mhm.
with people from there are a lot of people here in Noto from the north of Italy that they move to Noto or they bought a house here and they spend their summers. And all these foreign people or people from Italy from other parts, they all agree that the light here is special, like
The
the
last
colors, the lights. Yes, the
thing.
light of the sun. I thought that I was crazy, but talking with people, I realized that they all feel this energy, especially when the sun sets. These
Yeah.
colors, like from yellow to orange to red, and also I think that here, for example, in this town particularly, all the facades that are with yellow stone help a lot to make like an environment of warm light that I don't know, it fills your eyes and soul with so much energy. So that's a special thing about Sicily that I traveled a lot and I couldn't find it. Like I saw a lot of amazing sunsets, but also
Mhm.
here, since we don't have like high buildings in the towns, you get to see more the sunsets and to connect with this light and energy of the day ending. And the
Yeah.
other thing that I like and also find challenging is the same. So
Mhm.
basically, I love the slow piece piece of life, like
Yeah.
that everything is slow here, that you get to enjoy the moment.
Mhm.
You know, this dolce far niente, but at the same time, when you need to get your stuff done,
Yeah.
paperwork, or maybe I'm super fast in my job and I expect the
Mhm.
other people to acts the same way than me, I get angry because everything is slow.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to a public place like the municipality, or yeah, you need like paperwork done, and I get angry. But I say to myself, that's the same thing that you like, because people is like that to enjoy the moment, to make you feel good when you're relaxing, but also at work. So it's yes, I think that's the thing that I love and hate at the same time. Or for
Mhm.
example, the mentality that it can be a little bit old school, outdated,
Yeah.
but also thanks to that they can keep up the traditions,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of traditions, religious or
Mhm.
festivities or meals,
Yeah.
things that they keep doing
Mhm.
when the year pass, and it's thanks to this mentality of no change. So
Yeah.
they're not open to change, and that makes a great place for history and culture and tradition. But at the same time, in the daily life, I would like them to think a little bit different about certain aspects of life.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like if you're on holiday in southern Italy, it's great
Yes.
because you really relax. But then, yeah, if you have to, I don't know, like renew your passport or do bureaucratic things, then it can be a little bit frustrating because you're like, I just have 1 hour and I want to finish everything in 1 hour. And most of the times, 1 hour is not.
No, no, lower your expectations. And that's also why I want to help people to renovate their house, because it can be challenging and super different from what we're used to in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
And I want to be super clear how things work here, how's the timing, how is the
yeah,
paperwork, because everything takes more time. And also the language can be a barrier. So many people that buy a house here, they are super worried because they don't speak Italian. And
yeah,
Sicilians, they don't speak English. So it's super difficult to communicate and to yes, renovate a house and finish, a project with two different parts that don't speak each other's language.
yeah, 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 yeah. There are a lot of barriers, no, like the language, and then things can be slow. But I think if you accept these things and you try to work with them, then you can have a good experience in Italy or Sicily, because it's definitely a place where you can feel the culture,
Yes.
and there's pros and cons, of
But
course.
every place has pros and cons. So it's
Yes,
I still choose to live here. I mean, it's this is yes, it's 3 years since I'm here, and I thought it was going to be only a summer. So
so it must be a good place, because
yes.
otherwise you would have left. And so I'm curious about this. How has it been making friends in Italy for you? Obviously, you speak the language very well, but in general, are Italians friendly? Are they open to new friendships?
Well, Italians are super friendly, but
Mhm.
me speaking Italian was definitely the most important thing to make friends, because they are super curious about foreigners and the culture, and they want to meet different people and are super warm. But at
Mhm.
one point, if you want to continue a relation and make a friendship grow, you need to talk, because for
Yeah.
a first meeting, like they could invite you home and eat,
Mhm.
but then if you cannot communicate, you cannot make a real friendship. There are
Yeah.
some people that speak English, but it's the
Mhm.
less amount of people. So yeah, the language was super important, and it was quite easy for me because our cultures are very similar, like Argentinian and Sicilian.
Yeah.
And yes, and it was also one of the reasons which I decided to stay. And the main reason why I moved to Noto, because I was living in the other side of the island, in western part, in Trapani province.
Okay.
And now I moved to this eastern part,
Mm.
to Noto, because of the friends that I have here. So it's super
Ah,
important.
okay.
The
Okay.
social life, yes, to have a social life.
Okay. I see. I see. And so, what's your Italian level right
Well,
now?
I did the B2
Mhm.
PLIDA exam,
Oh, Plida.
but yes, that was in my school. You could choose the level. I didn't want to study. If I had studied more, maybe I could get, I could have get a better one. But it's 15 years since I stopped learning Italian,
Okay.
so I'm not sure if I'm still that level.
Mhm.
But honestly, when I first arrived to Sicily, uh, at school, nobody taught me that the different regions of Italy spoke different dialects. I didn't know that. And when I got here and I started hearing people talk, I was like, I don't remember how to speak Italian. Like I know zero, but I didn't realize no, they are not speaking the Italian language; they are speaking Sicilian.
Yeah.
So that was challenging because I thought, okay, when I hear people, speaking in the street, or I talk to people, then I
Mhm.
can quickly improve my Italian. That I know it was somewhere in my brain, but
Yeah.
I hadn't speak for 15 years. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like, I'm going to be fine. But then I realized this dialect that it also changed from one side of the island to another. Like different
Yeah.
towns, they use different words because they have different influences. So they have Spanish, Arab,
Yeah.
yes. So that it's not even one dialect. It's
Oh.
super different. So yes, that was a challenge, but
Mhm.
I think that now I'm pretty good in Italian. But honestly, when we start following each other, I told you, I thought, oh, Anna is so good. I have to take some lessons with her because I took some lessons with Argentinian teachers, but it's not the same. Like you
Yeah.
are Italian, and I think
Yeah.
that to be native in one language is super important. And every
Sure.
time I see your videos and you speak so good, I'm like, oh, I wish I can improve my Italian. But I have so many things going on in my life that I know I'm going to do it, but it's not the time. But I will. I
Yeah.
hopefully I can have some lessons with you.
Of course. Of course. We can in the future when you're less busy because you've studied Italian before. You know, it's actually, I mean, I'm sure for you it's not too difficult, but it's still, like a challenging language. The grammar is pretty difficult, and especially for you that Spanish is your native language, I think you can confuse Italian and Spanish.
Yes, many people might think that since Spanish and Italian have the same Latin roots, it's
Yeah.
easier, which is it is easier at the first time, in
Mhm.
the beginning. But
Yeah.
then when you want to improve it, being that similar makes you confused more. For example, in English, I have to think in English because if I think in Spanish and I try to translate, it doesn't make any sense. But in Spanish and Italian, it's so similar that I still didn't got to the point of thinking in Italian. I'm still thinking in Spanish and
Mm.
trying to translate it. And also, as you said, the Italian language has so many exceptions of the rules,
Yeah.
and also the tenses of the verbs
Mm.
can make a really complex language to speak.
Yeah.
If you want to speak proper Italian, I can definitely communicate in Italian and everybody will understand, but I'm used to speak at least in Spanish with a rich, yes, like with the many words and complex sentences that I'm not in at that point in Italian yet, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, but like for me, I remember when I used to, for example, learn English, the most frustrating thing was that I could speak English, but then when I wanted to maybe have more deep conversation,
yes,
I'm sure that, I mean, you can speak probably very good Italian, but maybe if you want to be more deep and you want to use
yeah,
specific words,
yes, I'm
It's
a
for
super deep person. Like maybe we just know each other, and I will start to speak about deep things. Why were we born and those kind of stuff, and then I try to make a point, and I'm like, I'm so much smarter in Spanish. I wish I could say it in Spanish, and then you could understand it. And also, my mom, she's a Spanish teacher, so she
oh
was really tough as regard education and
yeah.
with the language as well. So I remember I always learned before all my classmates all the
Mm,
grammar and yes the Spanish lessons. I
yeah.
knew a lot more before my friends because at home my mom would be super tough and educating me. So yes, and also I like reading. I think reading is so important. I honestly I bought some Italian books which I haven't read. Oh,
Okay.
because my nighttime, that it was the time where I spent reading. Now I'm editing videos, and I hate that because I wish I had time for everything, but now I'm like prioritizing the video making and everything. So I didn't touch them, but I think that's super important because you don't only listen Italian, but you read it. So maybe the pronunciation you cannot get it, but you know how it's written, and that's super important because then
Yeah.
when you're texting or something, I don't like to have mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but I wish I could yes like learn honestly now I use a lot ChatGPT, but I first I write the sentence, so I put like please correct this sentence. I don't put please, I just put correct this sentence. It's an order. And then I write in Italian and I see the correction. Sometimes it's not accurate, but I think it's improved a little bit from what it was Google Translate in the
Straight down.
beginning. That that app didn't get actually the meaning of the sentence. Maybe it would translate word by word. I
Yeah.
think ChatGPT has improved a little bit about understanding what you want to say and correcting. But yeah, you use it mostly for grammar and the stuff.
Yeah, no, ChatGPT is better because I remember when they released ChatGPT, I tried to use it in Italian and that was pretty bad. And then now, over the years, it's better and better. And actually, my students use ChatGPT a lot. For example, they write a text and then they put it on in ChatGPT and they ask ChatGPT to correct the text and then they send it to me.
I'm
And sometimes,
curious. Can you realize when they do that? Because I was thinking, yes.
yeah. In fact, sometimes I'm like, I know you use ChatGPT. You should write it on your own. But it can be helpful when you're learning on your own. But sometimes it's not very accurate with the corrections, as you said. It's not always perfect, but can be a good help sometimes.
Yes, I think that real life and real like having a teacher, having a real conversation is always
Yeah,
going to be better than relying on artificial intelligence. But
yeah,
if you know how to use it,
yeah.
it could help you improve
Mhm.
yeah, your learning.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And so you speak very good Italian, but maybe in the
Grazie.
past, prego, in the past, did you have any maybe funny or awkward moments while you were trying to say something in Italian where people couldn't understand you, or maybe something embarrassing? Can you think of something?
Uh, I I don't remember. I just have now like 5 minutes ago. I
Mhm.
wanted to say because my friend he's taking an exam and he told me,
Okay.
"Oh, I didn't pass the exam. I
Mhm.
feel so how do you say in English like you feel down like without courage. Like in Italian I think it's
Ah, scoraggiato. Scoraggiato.
scoraggiato. And I try to say that, and I say scoraggiato. That means like perk. How do you say in English?
Scorreggiato è farted, yeah.
First,
Yeah. It's
So I
funny,
just had that with one letter. I failed one letter, and it was another word.
Yeah, they're very similar, scorreggiato and scoraggiato.
See,
Yeah, it's just one little thing and it changes everything.
but yeah, no, I don't remember others, but yeah, it can happen. And what I do realize is that since I'm still learning how to speak Italian, many times I ask my friends when I hear a new word, I ask them, is that Sicilian or Italian? And they are
Mm,
like, let me think. And they talk to each other. Like they don't even recognize some words if they are Italians or Sicilian. And neither
yeah,
do I. I'm like, I'm learning. So
yeah,
when I talk with friends that are Italians, but they are not Sicilian, they say, that's not Italian. Like that's a Sicilian word.
yeah. No, I'm sure. But so, can you speak the dialect? What's your
No,
situation?
no, no, no.
Oh,
I cannot. I can understand it,
yeah,
but if they are having like a super quick conversation, fully in
yeah,
Sicilian, super like close dialects, then I miss what they are saying. But in general, I understand most of the words and can have an idea of what they are saying, but I don't understand it like Italian, and I
mm,
cannot speak it yet. I only can say some words, and
mm,
everybody thinks it's like super funny when they hear me or a foreign trying to speak Sicilian.
yeah,
But it's also nice because if you go to a place, I always try to learn the
mm,
basic words to say to the locals. And if
yeah,
you say them in Sicilian, then it's like, wow, they're super surprised and happy that you learned some Sicilian
yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm sure. And so now I wanted to ask you a little bit about dating life in Italy. So,
Okay. So I don't have much experience on dating, but I want to tell you a story that
okay.
no many know. So basically, if I have to think what made me stay in Sicily, I
Mm-hmm.
have to say it was Tinder. Because when I first arrived to the island,
Yeah.
I was staying in my friend's house. She was saying she has a boyfriend and they were a couple, and I was with them. And sometimes I felt like I need to go out with people, but I didn't know anybody here. So for the
Yeah.
first time, I downloaded this dating app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like judgmental about it. Like I'm not an app kind of person, but I
Yeah.
thought, okay, that, and also I thought I need to practice my Italian. And I would download it and start chatting with people so I can practice my Italian. So instead of ChatGPT, you can use some dating app. So I started talking with a lot of people. I remember that there was this friends section, like, oh, make friends. Of course, nobody wants to make friends, but anyway.
Yeah.
So this guy, he told me, oh, let's go out. And I was thought, yeah, why not? It was like here in the center. What is going to happen? Like, so I met this Giuseppe on the dating app, and we went out, and he I told him I'm an architect, blah, 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 and I just recently got a job as a receptionist in a hotel in Ortigia in Syracuse because not many people speak English. So this was going to be my summer job. Remember that I told you that I was staying here and then moving to Milan. Okay. So I was working there. It was a week only that I was there. And he said, oh, but you're an architect. And I have a friend that he has a studio. And there's this woman that collaborates with him, but now she's pregnant and she's not able to work anymore for a few months. Like, would you like to do an experience there? And I was, yes, why not? So this studio was in Avola. It's another town near Syracuse and near Noto. So basically, he got me the job and he helped me to find the house. So I
Yeah.
moved to Avola thanks to this Giuseppe. And then one thing led to another. And I stayed here. But it was like my friends, they say, Irene, this is Tinder. People want just to go to bed and it's not LinkedIn. Like for job opportunity, you should, but yeah, no, the job apps, not many Sicilians use them. Here is
Mm,
more like everything mouth to mouth and recommendations. So this person really helped me. And
Yeah.
yes, I feel that as regard dating here, people are more into deep connections and not only. I mean, of course, there's like in all the parts of the world, there's a little bit of everything. Some people might have other interests, but it's easier maybe to connect. At least for me as a foreign, like I had all great experiences,
Yeah.
but I know other people that also download the apps and had not great experiences. Like Italians, they can be charming and Latin lovers, and they would put a lot of interest in you and in your life. But maybe they just wanted to go to bed with you, and then they would like, oh, not interested anymore, and stop answering your messages. So there's yes, a little bit of everything. Um, but yes, all in all, I had a good experience with Sicilians.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing I have to say is that here I think they are used only to one kind of relationship. That's like the monogamous one. In
Yeah. Yeah.
Argentina, it's different because, for example,
Mm,
in Argentina, when you start dating with someone,
yeah.
we have this word that it's chongo. It's a word in between single or in a serious relationship. It's
Yeah.
like dating, I think, in
Yeah.
English. Like we're
Yeah.
dating, like it's
Mm,
not serious.
mm,
So it could take from 1 to maybe 4 months until you have the conversation
yeah.
and you ask the other person, so are we exclusive? Like we're not hanging with other people, we're only,
Yeah.
having intimacy together, and
Yeah.
then you met the parents, and then you are in a serious relationship. Here, I
Yes.
think everything goes like super, super fast,
Mm,
and this dating gray zone doesn't exist much. It's like either you are single or you are in a relationship, like quicker than in Argentina. Please, what do you think? You're Italian. You tell me. I'm just speaking
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. I agree because that made me think about myself actually. Because I remember, I mean, I was younger. Now I feel like I'm a bit more, let's say, modern, just because I lived abroad. So I'm not traditionally Italian, in the most traditional way. But I remember I used to date this guy from England. And I think we were dating for 1 month. And for me, we were like boyfriend and girlfriend. But for him, not at all. Like he was like, "Oh, we're just dating." I was like, "What's
Knowing each
dating?"
other like 1 month, and I don't even know you that much.
Yeah, I know. And so I remember I was like, "Oh, so are you like dating someone else as well?" Like, and he was like, "Yeah." And I was so shocked because I was like, "Oh, I thought we were already official."
Broken heart. You think you were going to marry like most Italians?
So then, yeah, we like clarified this thing. I don't know if
The
this is a
situation.
word. And he was like, "Oh, I see. So this is how it works in Italy. In England, it's totally different." So I was like, "Okay."
Yes, I think
Which
it's
is,
mainly because of tradition and religion that you are used to this kind of relationship, which in a way, but like in a sense, it's super good because
mm,
as a foreign, you think, oh, like Italians are super serious and they are so into a relationship and building something with somebody. But on the other hand, I believe that many people that might not be ready to commit um, to that kind of relationship, they end up like cheating or, yes, like not not super committed to the other person. And yes, it has both side of the coin. I don't know if in English you said it like that.
I think that's no,
I just translated it to Spanish. One thing that I shouldn't do, but it's essay. So
yeah,
yes, it could be a good thing if you get the right person and you're going to build something with somebody straight away.
yeah,
Or on the other hand, if you find somebody that is not ready, maybe they are fully commit, but it's not what they really deep inside want.
yeah. We're exactly on the same page because that's exactly what I was thinking about. Because I see so many people that cheat on their partner in Italy. It's very, very, very common, and it's because you're like, okay, we've been dating for 1 month, okay, we're in a relationship, but mentally you're not in the relationship. You're still
Exactly.
figuring out if you like the person or not. So you probably date someone else, and that is seen as cheating because, I mean, it is kind of,
Because
if
you were dating this British and you were going to marry after 1 month. So
you're not married
I
now.
think if Italians would accept other kind of relationships, like open relationships, or yes, like without a title, without saying girlfriend and boyfriend, like we're knowing each other. If they would stay in that zone longer,
Mm,
then yes, they would, I think, feel more free and more committed once they made the decision of being serious with somebody.
yeah, yeah. I think it's becoming more and more common, anyways. This idea of like open relationships or just all the possible options, no? But I would say it's still very prevalent, the idea of being in a relationship, two people, very still traditional. But yeah, I think things are changing, but very slowly, very slowly.
Yes, and in the south part, even slower.
Yeah, exactly. Probably if you go to Milan,
Of
it's the
course.
opposite. You feel like, oh, no one wants to commit, no one wants to get married, and everyone is living in a free life.
Like in every
But
big city. Also, I think here in Sicily, from Palermo, Catania to the small town where I
yeah,
live, things probably are different.
yeah.
But yes, I like to do this town experience. Many times people ask me when I complain about the job or the mentality. They say, "Oh, why don't you move to Palermo?" And I'm like, if I would like to live in a big city, I would have gone to Milan or Rome or other big city. For me,
Mhm.
Sicily is about the small towns. It's about this more family experience, more yes, like I like. Even though there's this mentality and this outdated mentality about certain aspects, I still prefer to live in a small town.
Yeah, yeah. I also feel like, at least this is my personal experience. When I was younger, I preferred bigger cities because I was like, I want to have all the experiences and I want to have fun. But then growing up, I felt like, oh, I need a more like, like tranquil life. And so, yeah, were you always like a small town person or no?
When I first arrived to Avola with this Giuseppe, I remember because I've never been to that town. I was in Ortigia, which is a super touristic spot, and there's
Mhm.
a lot of people and activities, restaurant. And he drove me all the way to Avola, and I saw the streets and the town seemed like a ghost town because it was
Mm.
the time after lunch where people go and take a nap. And I said it to him out loud. I could never live here. I told him that, and 2 weeks after, I was moving.
Look at you. Look at you now.
Yes, and my mom, she was from a small town. Also, my dad, a
Yeah.
small town near Rosario. So my
Mm.
city in Argentina is like 1.5 million people. So it's a big city.
Oh.
And they were from a small town. But
Mm.
I think their town was bigger than the ones I'm living in now. And I
Okay.
remember saying to my mom, like, I hate the town. Like everybody knows with each other. Everybody like knows the life of the other and are critical and are talking about other people. And there's not much things to do and no much opportunities. But I can say I'm both a city and a town girl. What I'm doing now, these years is on the winter time I escape from Sicily and I go to New York or Argentina because I need the big city energy. And then when I charge my battery, I'm ready to go back to Sicily. So I think I need balance. Like I could not be 12 months of a year in the small town, but also I travel a lot, so I know a lot of people, and it's like I feel like I'm always on vacation here because I grab the car, drive 1 hour, and I'm in a whole new place that is always amazing and it surprised me. So it's super stimulating, although it's not a big city.
And so, Irene, what are your future plans now? Do you want to stay in Italy forever? Do you want to go back to Argentina?
Well, one word I don't like is forever because I think it's like we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. But
Yeah.
yes, I'm happy with the decision of moving to Italy and
Mhm.
to Sicily. So I'm planning to stay here. In an ideal life, I would like to stay here maybe 10 or 9 months a year, and then other 3 months go back to Argentina or to other yeah, like a big city or different culture that stimulates me and makes me appreciate Sicily even more. Because I think when you live 1 year, like the all year round in one place, you need to take distance in order to appreciate what you have. Now it's like when it's summer here and it's too hot, you say, "Oh, I hate summer," but then winter comes and you appreciate summer. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm planning to stay here and to make my projects grow. As
Mhm.
regard tourism, I want to keep helping people to plan their trip to Sicily. It's I feel so happy when people write to me, "Oh, thanks to your videos, I feel inspired. Now I'm traveling to Sicily. I feel like even if it's a small contribution, I'm contributing to make Sicily, like known for some people and make them want to come and know the culture, the traditions. I feel like a Sicilian ambassador, even like maybe it's a big word, but I feel like I like to share my passion about Sicily.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see on my Instagram.
Mhm.
And I'm so happy when people come. So that would be the tourism part. And then I want to focus more in housing because that's what I do. I'm an architect. Now I'm becoming a real estate agent. I have to take the exam. I haven't taken it. I just did the course. But that's the next step to learn more about real estate job and helping people to achieve this dream of la dolce vita, because it's not only buying a house here. I think when people think I'm buying a house in Italy, it's not because they need to. It's like a pleasure. Like I feel that I'm them because I've been in that position when I was in Argentina, dreaming about Italy, having so many questions. Like I can be that person that answer all that questions and help more people to enjoy Italian lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm planning to stay. I hope you visit me and and we meet in person because I felt that I had this conversation with a friend. Thank you for the interview, and I feel so comfortable.
Grazie mille per questa intervista, sei stata fantastica e ci vediamo presto.
Grazie a te, Anna. Spero di vederti presto e buona giornata.
Anche a te.